miss SD Gundam Capsule Fighter. I really do. Like, I devoted 3.5 years to it. It was only within, like, in the last 3-4 months I really started, maybe I should step away from it, just because it was bittersweet. My experience with SD Gundam Capsule Fighter Online, it was bittersweet. Mostly that had to do with the fact that I was dealing with the North America server, and exclusively the North American server, which, oh my god, folks, I actually haven't worn this in years, so it's a little tight, but yeah, I still have it. If I have anything to say about it, I will never, ever, ever play another game that is run by OG Planet. Assholes. Idiots. Ignoramus. Money-grubbing. How are they still alive? They were terrible at maintaining consistency. There's not one patch that went by where something didn't go wrong. There's not one patch. They never fixed their spelling errors. They never fixed their grammar errors. They never fixed the errors where the original Korean text was still visible. There were some places you could still see the original Korean text. What? Why? Their server was shit. From November 2011, when the game went into closed beta, or is it open beta? From November 2011 until July 2015, the end of July 2000, not one day went by where I didn't have some sort of server issue. The lag was always there. Always. I'm not even talking about my computers. By the way, I played this on 2 different machines. 3 different machines. Because when my laptop went down in 2012, or was it 2013, like mid-2013, something like that. Yeah, it would have been 2012. When it went down, I had to get the machine that I'm currently on right now, or the machine that I'm currently on right now. And, and then, you know, in the interim between those two, I was on, you know, one of my parents' machines, both of them, I can't remember. So I played it on 3 different machines, at least, and the problems were consistent across. There was ghosting, there was lag, there was FPS lag, there was... You're supposed to be able to physically strike the target with melee, facing the target. I would be facing this way. They would be behind me and still able to strike me. They would face it. They were flat back to back with me. Here's an example right here. They would be facing away from me and still striking me. And then when I finally fell over, magically it would shift over, and lo and behold, they're in front of me. Now, from their perspective, they were in front of me, hitting me the whole time, but from my perspective, they were behind me. And it happened for 3.5 years. 3.5 years. I was never able to play PvP properly. Ever. Ever. The notion that boss mode, you get anti-flinch, no you don't. No you don't. And OG Planet insisted. They even tried to quote the text at me. It's like, no. I've got anti-flinch units. And I know what anti-flinch is like. When I went in there with a non-anti-flinch unit, no, they were not immune to melee. They were not immune to stun. Ever. Not even at 30%. They were never immune to stun. But, whoa, I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm just one guy. It must be my problem. The forums were a cesspool of trolls and flame wars and advertisements, and basically the worst that the internet had to offer was there. I think the only thing that didn't get in were hackers. Probably because SDGO wasn't prominent enough to waste their time. There might have been some, was it denial of service, the DOS attack? Is it DDoS attacks? There might have been 1 or 2 of those ever. But The problem with the forums is there was no regulation. If you protested against OG Planet, you were warned, and your thread was deleted. If you questioned OG Planet, if you questioned one of the forums, your thread would be deleted. They wouldn't address it. No, they would not address it. They would not bring it up. They would not to say, we notice you've got a problem. Would you care to talk about it? We will try to look into it. No, that's not what they would say. They would say, stop causing trouble on the forums, or you will be banned. That's the response to protests on the forums. You couldn't even talk about the fact that there were other servers out there. It's like, Korea server? Southeast Asia? No. China? Where's China? Where's Japan? Oh, we don't talk about the Japanese server. I understand that. But to be fair, the players never talk about the Japanese server. I'm not sure why, but... and I had to deal with trolls, and haterade, and stuck up. I can't even come up with 4-letter words large enough to describe my contempt for these people who went in there and ruined the forums. The legitimate players, the players who would give you the time of day, they didn't go to the forums. They didn't. Just didn't happen. I was dealing with trolls from November 2011. This is on the forums. I was dealing with trolls from November 2011 until the very day it closed, July 26th, 2015. The same assholes for 3.5 years. How did these people survive on the forums? In the last days, these trolls ran rampant. No control whatsoever. It's like the forum managers just up and walked away from the table. And anybody who protested against it, they were the troublemaker. They were the warmonger. I have never seen such a mismanaged... Now, to be fair, I've only been I don't go to forums. I usually stay out of them, okay? I don't... My research for Super Sentai Transformers, Legos, I don't go to forums. I'm not signed up with any of them. I just go there. I do a quick scan, and if something that I want is relevant in there, I'll read it real quick, and then bam, I'm gone. I don't deal with forums, okay? In the few forums that I've been signed up with, I have never, ever encountered such a backwards thinking mentality on how to run a forum. Anything that could go wrong did go wrong. Any way that you could start flame wars in there, and they sustained. Secular, GM Secular was probably one of the worst, and he's a legend. He's a legend because he was kind to his friends, and his friends backed him up. Secular has a whole other story to it. I have no idea who he is. Asshole. A forum manager openly mocked people who complained. He openly mocked them. And then when people called him on it, he deleted their threads. He didn't delete the people who were causing trouble. He deleted the ones who were complaining. And I'm not talking about, he called me a name. You know, you have to have a thick skin on the forums fair enough. But just the flame wars. There were flame wars. I keep using that phrase because it actually happened. There were flame wars. And egos were this big, and then all it did was spill over into the game itself. You had people in there who would not give you the time of day. They sat at the top because they were dominating assholes. And it never let up. It was more discouraging for a newbie, for a newcomer, regardless of age. They could have been 8, they could have been 18, they could have been 28, they could have been 38. For newcomers to walk into the game and they would be crushed. They were crushed. And these people would, I forgot my password after 2 weeks. No, you didn't forget your password. You looked at the community, you saw it was shit, you saw the spelling errors, you saw the technical glitches, you saw the server lag, and you forgot your password. I will never play an OG Planet game. Even if it's Gundam. If OG Planet miraculously gets their hands on SD Gundam Next Evolution, that will make me doubly inspired to not go to that game. Like, I'm already not thrilled with Next Evolution. Like, it's just not my thing, whatever. But if OG Planet gets their hands on it, no, I will not. I refuse. By the way, SDGO was OG Planet's best game. Best game. All the others are forgettable titles. For the most part. They're trying to push, was it Metro Conflict? Who cares? Latale? That was called? I can't remember. Something of Heroes was probably the only other one that anyone gave a shit about. And by the way, that game got SDGO's bad forum managers. Not once could I find a mailing address for OG Planet. Not once could I find a phone number for OG Planet. And I looked, and I asked, and nobody could find one. You guys really came here to hear this from me, huh? So it's bittersweet, but goddamn, I got to play with Gundams, and not just Gundams. I got to play with SD. I got to play with these things. I got to play with this one specifically. Didn't play with them very much, but I did play with it. This is what I like. This is what kept me going back to that cesspool of, I can't come up with words. I'm speechless. The bullshit I had to put up with for 3 years was all because of this. This made it tolerable. If it had been generic robots and females with scantily clad armor or no armor, if it had been that, I would not have played. And if it hadn't been for the brand, if it hadn't been for the subgenre, SD, Super Deformed, if it hadn't been for the chibi, I would not have been there. If it hadn't been for Clan Okami, I would not have been there. Fact. And yes, his eyes do glow. Light piping. But you guys totally... I will miss SD Gundam Capsule Fighter. It's bittersweet that it is gone, but I will miss SD Gundam Capsule Fighter. Speaking of bittersweet, I actually wasn't planning on doing that rant. This is an oddity. This is not something I was planning on getting. I didn't know this existed until a month ago. Like beginning of July, end of June, that's when I found out about this, okay? Now, I have purchased toys. I have sold toys. I've never repurchased a toy. And not just repurchased to give it a second chance, but repurchased in terms of, you know, in my collection, I don't buy things that I don't like. Like, if it doesn't pass muster, I'll get rid of it, or I won't buy it, period. That's why I don't have anything from Go Sager. That's why I don't have anything from Tokuger. That's why I don't have anything from Go Buster. Not true. I've got a Go Sager gun and a Go Buster, was it Buster Hercules? That's it. I don't have anything from Tokuger. There was a sale on Hobbyland Japan a couple months back, and everything was like 75% off. I was pressing the button to purchase, and they said, "Oh, we're out of stock." 75% off, or whatever it was. I would have done that. If you watch Prime 92, go over to her channel. The link is down there. Go to her channel, and she got in on the sale that I missed. So if you want to look up Tokuger Mecha for 75-80% off, go over there. I'm not saying they were badly designed, and I'm not saying that train mecha are not a good idea. I'm just saying they fucked up the train mecha. Anyways, I wasn't planning on getting this. I didn't know this existed until a month and a half ago. It's the reason I got rid of the original one, the original version of this toy, is because it was boring. Because I like the... Why am I always drawn to things where I like the concept but the execution was bad? Now, I'm not saying the execution was bad, but the execution was kind of bad. The transformation was boring, uninspired. The mecha that are in it, okay, I'm not quite sure why they chose those mecha, but I can live with it. but I didn't like the way they combined, and I didn't like the way it looked when it was done. So I claimed that I don't like this mecha, and yet I keep buying toys of it, and yet I keep promoting it. It's because I like the idea behind it. I like what it represents. At least in Super Sentai, I like what it represents. So this thing came along, and I'm like, what? Really? Wow. But it was an oddity, and, well, it was an oddity. I figure why not? God damn it, am I going to have to do the whole thing all over again? So yeah. I've seen some, there have been some special editions like this before out there. I think there was one from 2001. I won't name it because I don't want to spoil the surprise. There was one from 2001, 2002 that came out. Yeah, I would like to get that version, but I already have the original version, so I don't necessarily need to get the special repaint version. Like, I don't have to. It'd be nice, but I don't have to. This is a case of a repaint that I didn't know existed. It's GekiToa, but it's a repaint of GekiToa, gold-plated premium version. And yes, it is official. It's Bandai, and it's Toei 2007, made in China, Bandai 2009, which is when Geki Ranger was out, and the Super Sentai logo. So this is legitimate. This is official. It's not for sale. 120 plus shipping and handling, not for sale. Huh? Wait, what? Did I just do something illegal? Oh shit! I'm not Pia. That's one of the reasons I don't watch Pia as a Transformers review, is because he oftentimes gets stuff that's not for sale, or it's fresh from the, not even fresh from the factory on the production line. It's pre-production. That's why I don't like his stuff. That's why I won't support him. Oh shit, did I just become him? Wow. Oh my. Whoop. Oh wow. All of the ABS has been colored. All of it. The PVC is also been recolored, but it's been recolored gold. There's your materials. I like the idea of GekiToa had no ranged weapons on it. It might have done like a hurricane punch or something like that, but few and far between. It actually depended on the accessory mecha to be able to do that kind of thing. But I like the idea that its particular combat style, it was thin, it was fit, it was trim. Those are the words I'm looking for. It emphasized martial arts in a way that no Super Sentai mecha previously had ever done before, or at least more than any Super Sentai mecha had done before. I think Ryuseo, the Red Dragon Thunder Sword, I think that one placed an emphasis on kind of Chinese martial arts, I think, which you know, Geki Ranger also did that as well. They had it's very much Chinese inspired. I don't know how, I just know it is. But let me think here. I like what GekiToa represented. Wildcats, if it had been nothing but Wildcats for the entire run of the series, I could have lived without. A rhino, I don't quite get the point. A wolf, I can live with it. Where you get a gorilla, an antelope, a penguin, a bat, an elephant, like Wildcats, I suppose you only have so many cats you can play around with, so you know, whatever, and my god, that's shiny. Wow. That's legit right there. I'm liking this. Like, all Wildcats, I don't quite get that. If it just been more wild animals, like it had been in Gal Ranger, I think people would not have paid attention to it as much. But in the end, ultimately, they did kind of do the Gal Ranger thing. bunch of wild animals. They got away from the wildcat things. Wildcat thing was kind of interesting, but it didn't really tie into anything later on. But unfortunately, the toy, this is one of 3 mecha. The other mecha is another leg, and then the other mecha is the rest of the body. I didn't like that. It was because of the gimmick. The gimmick, I actually liked the gimmick because it placed an emphasis on martial arts. Albeit toy martial arts, fair enough. But, wow. As I understand it, this is a display model, or this was a reward of some kind, which means this may very well be completely intact. It was just a store display. Or it might have been a prize. I'm not certain. I don't know the history of this. I'll have to research. I had a Juggle Pride Megazord, which I reviewed for Collection DX. It was one of my earlier ones. Well, earlier. Yeah. And it was a sponsored thing, so I got it for free. And I just got bored with it. Just don't care. And I sold it. I just didn't care. But I got this kind of for the same reason that people love. I'm guessing the reason people love Dragon Ball Z. It's Super Saiyan. Almost like Sentai Seiya, which is totally wrong. I swear I'm not cross-promoting other people's stuff. I swear. I've mentioned I've done how many name drops now? God, this must have like never been in stores. The joints are so tight. That's what she said. It wasn't a bad toy. It wasn't badly engineered by any stretch. Just, transformation was too simple. It's kind of right smack in the middle of the limb swap era, and it did something at the time that I thought was legitimately good. In addition to it kind of revisited O-Ranger, Power Rangers Zeo. You had a helmet with a power attached to it, but it didn't just stop at the helmet. It actually gave it some weapons. That was kind of cool. I liked that. But it was still a block former. Well, no, I can't really call this a block former. I call it block former only because this. Where the hell's the head? There you are. Wow, the eyes aren't even painted in. This is definitely a block former, but yeah, double A. Damn it. I like the concept of GekiToa. I like the fact that it transforms a little bit, but it didn't transform enough for me to actually like it. For me to, I mean, I had it for, well, 2009 to 2014, maybe earlier. It might have been 2013. So, you know, I had it for 4 years, and it frequently sat on the shooting shelf. But I got bored with it. Just don't care. I made the comment previously that I liked some of the roleplay weapons more than I did any of the mecha. Same thing with Ghost Sager. I got that one blaster, and that's all I ever wanted. And that was it. It's the only toy I ever have or ever wanted. It's the only toy I ever got. That was the end of it. Instructions in English. I'm not even going to bother opening this, so. Yeah, Bandai Asia. There's your answer right there. Hong Kong. Yeah. It's not like I don't know how to transform it, so. I think it was a floor display. I'm not certain. It was some sort of giveaway. Because obviously it says not for sale, so it was very much intended for limited release. I just don't know the circumstances. I think the box is slightly smaller too. I'm not sure. The other reason I really didn't like this is because of that goddamn fanny pack. I did not, I don't like this. I understand why it's there. It needs to be there. It doesn't mean I have to like it. And no, I don't watch Dragon Balls. Dragon Ball Z, or I can't stand it. I don't give a shit. Changing color is a power-up. I'm under the impression you need some sort of a physical change. Changing your hair color, changing your hair length, your hairstyle is not good enough. And taking 5 episodes to do a power-up for one little is not good enough. They do more talking than fighting in the game. It's almost like watching Gundam. That's the only accessory that the GekiToa ever had. And even then, it just kind of, he rarely used it. He actually did punching and kicking a lot more. That's the reason I like GekiToa. The emphasis was on martial arts. Shame. If I wasn't showing my face on the internet at this point, I would be terrified of shooting this thing because of all the reflections. I was like, ah. Yeah, there's no batteries in here. Oh, there it is. I need to get some batteries. I'll be right back. I wonder if the fists still light up. Yeah, I just realized the backpack was painted. Backpack's ordinarily black plastic, black ABS, so why is they painted it? I don't know. They only made it stick out more than it already has. Great. Never a paperclip when you need one. Ow. See? Ordinarily black. Ordinarily black. I don't get it. And they just recolor it. Oh well. Ooh, these joints are so nice and tight. Technically, I didn't have a GekiToa. Technically, it was a Jungle Pride Megazord. I think I already said that. The only question I have, I don't question whether mechanics work on it. It's heavy enough. My question is, will these light up? That was you ever wanted to know what the difference between the Jungle Pride Megazord and the GekiToa was? They removed the LEDs inside the fist. That's all they changed, I think. Yeah, I don't think they welched on any of the paint. Sorry. Sweet. Let's see if the other one works. Ah. glowy fists confirmed. Or should I talk about glowy hand? Yeah, I should totally sit on this until tonight, sit on the video until tonight, render it, compress it, do all those things, just so I can see what it looks like at nighttime with the lights off. You know I'm going to do it. There it is. Limited edition repaint. Special Ultimate Collector's Edition like that. You know, there was an Ultimate Collector's version of Magic King, which was actually higher end. They actually put a lot more paint onto it, even paint that wasn't in the series. But you know, it didn't ruin it by any stretch of the imagination. If they made a collector's edition of this, would I get it? Technically, this is collector's, but I mean, would I might. I don't know. Kind of tempted to get GekiToa, which is kind of the only other one that the only other mecha that I like legitimately wanted. I want to get the DX GekiToa now, just because I was kind of disappointed with the way it turned out on the. Where are you? Here you are. The only Bandai America, Bandai Creation version that I ever appreciated, the Transforming Fury Megazord. It still has the missiles on it, but the wings don't bend as much. It's just, that's it. So, you know, the legs don't move. Why do the legs need to move? The head doesn't move. Why did the head need to move? It combines in the same way. It just doesn't have all the same things. So, like, I should get one of these. Does this attach? Nope. No. So I'm getting tempted to find a GekiToa. I don't think this is even secondhand. Like, I think this came straight from the store. They didn't paint the eyes. Kind of expected them to, but I can live with it. Which is okay. I have nothing wrong with Wildcats in one mecha. That doesn't bother me. I still want Gal Marquis. We have no pictures of that, but I still want one. Alright. Boy, these joints are tight. Can't handle all the chrome. But that's okay. If only those rear legs had been posable. Would have been perfect. No questions. No problem whatsoever. Just the rear legs, for whatever reason. Like, you can pose these. I'm not sure why you can pose these and not these back here. I don't get it. And this is hard. This is the part that was disappointing for me. And I never ever liked the feet sitting on the front. Like they're trying to make it a front skirt thing. I understand, but couldn't you have moved it to the side? That would have been nice. Oh, the claws are all PVC. Oh, sure, now the legs can flip forward. Now when you can't pose it, period. Why didn't it have elbows? It would have been nice. Ironically, for a ball joint, no up and down or side-to-side motion. You can just twirl it. That's it, unfortunately. You can't pose them. Like, cats are such aerobatic creatures, even though they don't go in the air. You can't do it with these guys. No elbows here, and back legs kind of... Yep, there it is, a limited gold edition GekiToa. DX GekiToa. I don't get it, but I got it. So, like I said, I'm not a DBZ fan by any stretch of the imagination, not even abridged, although there are a few quotable lines in there. But, why not? It's gold-plated, and it has little lights on there. That's enough for me, I think. Like, would I get one of Tokyo? No. Mm-mm. Would I get one of Go Buster O or Go Buster King, whatever? No, I wouldn't. It's the concept, but I would still like to get that Silver Edition Gal Hunter. I do still want to get that, and I do still want to get Gal Hunter Blue Moon. There are issues, of course. So that's it. There's your unboxing. Hopefully I'll be in a better mood. I'm playing Guild Wars 2 right now, and I just last night at 3 a.m. signed up with Steam, and I ended up purchasing a game that I already had on CD-ROM in order to play it online, because GameSpy doesn't exist anymore, or if it does, it's very small. I don't want to buy Steam. I don't want to get Steam. Like, I don't care. I'm one of those people who prefers physical media. Still. I miss the SDGO. I miss it. Like, every time I watch Gundam 00, be like, oh, I need to go play with Exy. I need to go play with Keradim. Every time I watch Unicorn, oh, I need to play with the Full Armor Unicorn. I want to play with a Full Armor Unicorn Awakens. I want to play the A rank Unicorn. That thing was fun. Can't do it anymore. I miss SD Gundam. SD Gundam Capsule Fighter. This is Save Unit 4A saying thanks for tuning in.